Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into two parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. Power Sports Studio. I heard from a friend of mine who I hadn't heard from in a while. I don't want to say who it is. I kind of grew up with this person. And they informed me some of the worst news I think I've ever heard. And it's going to mess with my brain. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. I shouldn't even have brought it up. Sorry. It's been bouncing around in my head like a pinball. And sometimes when it does that too much and I start doing the show, then I want to talk about it. And so I apologize. So just forget that I even said that. Forget that I even did that. All I want to do is get through the week, which is today. Today's the week. My apologies. The blue ball is strong. I know. Let me just start all over. That's a great idea. That's a great idea, Kenny. You're full of great ideas. Let's start all over. Okay? Let's do that. Hello, my friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from the Impact Power Sports Studio. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I don't know how long my voice is going to hold out today. It's been acting funny. I've been doing that for quite some time. Thanksgiving Eve. Before I get to that, just a reminder, Impact Power Sports. When you want to get something fun, when you want to get on a four-wheeler, a motorcycle, an e-bike, quad, side-by-side, ATV, UTV, a lot of these things are the same thing. Go-kart, snowmobile. Maybe you need a new zero-turn radius. Zero turn radius? I don't know. One of those lawnmowers that look like a spaceship, where you look like Captain Kirk. It's so loud, your neighbors hate you. You can be that guy. That's not really for me. I'm just give me a push mower and I'm fine. I need the exercise. Also, Michigan's newest distributor of Yamaha golf carts, Impact Power Sports, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I think you have to have a massive piece of property to have one of those gigantic mowers. It's so loud. God. You know, something that when you're on it, it still takes you 2 hours to cut. When I'm at Fear Bunker North, a lot of the times I don't even use a riding lawnmower. I just use a push lawnmower. Well, I would be using the riding lawnmower, but it's not working right now. Go figure. I want you to know that there's someone in this house who is in big trouble. And, well, you know, it was 1 week ago that we had the Eric Zane Show household, my own 9/11, where during two portions of the day, I pissed Diana off about the laundry. Well, I was just rude to her. And then on the back half of the day, I lost my patience again and made her feel dumb. That was awful. How disappointed would you be if I did that again? You'd be like, okay, you're going to be pissed off on her behalf. Well, I did not. I am still in good shape. I have not lost any Pooh Bear points She's even said that I have gained some Pooh Bear points back. Did she upset me? No. Even if she did, it's probably not a good idea for me to be a tough guy at this point. What does that leave us? It leaves us with the NFK. He pissed his sister off, and she came up here, and she had a look of fire. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I thought I did something, and I go, hey, what's going on? And she was getting ready to take off. She told me her plan for the day because she got the day off for her little Thanksgiving break. Teachers, they get so many days off every year. That's like the trade-off. Babysit the kids, work 4 months a year, and they get the privilege to complain about everything. She was walking in here, and she goes, Kevy pissed me off. I go, uh-oh. What happened? Now, on any typical day, the dogs are up here with me, like they are right now. You can see Darla. I just moved out of the way so you can see her. Look at that face. It's perfect. There's Bruce there. Just saw Neil stick his head in the shot. Darla, if she's up here, she's cool. This is the time of the day when she just naps. She's so used to this. All right? So if she's downstairs because mom's down there, she's usually getting cranky because she wants to go to bed. She wants to be sleeping. And she wants to be in bed with Diana or in this room. So Diana's downstairs, and Darla starts whining. And she can be a bit much. She'll really get into it. Like if I'm downstairs, I always try to nip it in the bud. Where I'll take her outside, I'll give her a treat, we'll go upstairs, I'll put her in here. And so she's sitting there making a stink. And he speaks up. And he goes, how about you give her a treat? Which is fine, whatever. He's just trying to help out. But then he says, like a whole bowl of chocolate. Okay, so what he's saying there is poison the dog. And, oh, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to say that. Diana takes off her glasses, and she actually did the look. She showed me the look that she showed her brother. And she took off those fucking glasses, and this is what it was. This is what it looked like. Oh, no. And I go, oh, no, you gave him the big one. She goes, you're goddamn right I did. I go, I go, how did he respond? And she goes, well, he kind of laughed, like he was trying to make it seem like it was a joke. And I said, well, I'm sure it was a joke. And she goes, no, it wasn't. I go, well, I don't think he wanted the dog to die. I think it was a joke. I said, take it as a compliment. She goes, what? I go, well, he feels so comfortable, part of the family, bitching about the dog. We all do it. We all complain when they're, Darla, no, stop it. Oh, my God, Bruce, knock it off. I don't think you need to take it personally. So I'm trying to help. I just don't want her upset. I don't want her to go and beat his ass, which could happen. Tyler says looking over the glasses is one thing. Actually taking them off to shoot the look is like DEFCON 1. So then I stayed here. She left. I called her a little later on just to say, hey. And she said that he apologized. Hey, I'm sorry about that comment. I know you're mad. So he figured it out. I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, oh boy. But when you're in the spot of watching her brain go to this dark place of murder, I'm like, oh shit, that is a world you do not want to be in. You do not want to piss her off. Oh fuck. Hang on, I gotta drink this coffee. You ever put too much in your mouth? Sorry, there's a joke there. All right. I've gotten a ton of new followers on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook and you're new, you're like, when's it going to talk about the Lions? I made this dumb post about Jameson Williams buying boner pills so he could F his opponents even harder. And it went viral. I actually went viral. Tons of people have looked at it, and I've gotten a bunch of followers. Chris is here. He's the one that suggested that I do this, that I rip that post off. It wasn't even mine to begin with. I talked about this a little bit on the Patreon, but this is ridiculous. You know, if you have a post and you get 5-10 shares, that's good because then your post is reaching all of that person's friends, and then they may do the same thing, and that helps you get a lot of traffic, and you get into the quote-unquote algorithm. And so just on a lark, Chris said, easy, this guy, he posted this, why don't you rip it off? And I go, all right, I will. And so I did, and I took the same picture. I wrote it a little differently and actually wrote it hashtag Lions receiver, what I told you. Lions receiver Jameson Williams under investigation yet again by the league, this time for buying gas station boner pills to, quote, fuck the opposition even harder, end quote. Love the tenacity, but when will the young man learn? Now, obviously, it's a joke, but you'd be surprised at how many people thought that this was true. But here's the number that you want to pay attention to. 843 shares. That's stupid. 3,300 likes. That never, ever happens to me. I could post that I can now fly like Superman, and I'm going to end all the wars on the planet, and then have a video of me actually flying, and no one would believe it. I could say I cured cancer, and no one would buy it, even if it was something believable. Like if I wrote, rest in peace to so-and-so, my family member who was just eaten by a buffalo, nobody would give a shit. You put some stupid post out about a football player, and then everybody loses their mind. Wow. So there may be a few people who are Lions fans that may be seeing this on Facebook right now and be like, oh, yeah, this is that asshole that I liked earlier. He does like a podcast or some shit. Yeah, pretty much. So thank you if you're new and checking this out. I do want to discuss a couple of things about the Lions. And that is, first of all, Matt adds, so what you're saying is riding coattails and stealing content is working. Absolutely. Aram says, I saw Free Beer and Hot Wings had some strong bits this morning. Yeah, I don't know. I did happen to hear one thing, though. And because I have this little radio here, this actual little tiny boombox radio that I turn on from time to time when I'm doing my show on Q100, and they were gobbling like a turkey. And I think what you had to do was you had to gobble out a song like a turkey, and then everybody had to guess. And if you get it right, you get a point. So I heard that, and I heard it for about 15 seconds, and it was very grating to listen to. It wasn't funny. It was painful. There was no noise in the audience. No one seemed to enjoy it. It was rough, and then I shut it off. And then I went over to Reddit, and I saw that someone is already talking about it. Ben Glaze sent me a text and said, yeah, dude, holy fuck. This person wrote, holy fuck, are there worse segments out there, or is it this one? This person says, I thought it was kind of funny. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's with the theme. Yeah, because it's the day before Thanksgiving and you're gobbling out song lyrics, that doesn't make it funny or entertaining. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to listen to more of it. I don't know. Bob says there was some hilarity at about 9:30. Kenny, with his mispronunciation of Thanksgiving, it isn't so much that you drop the G at the end. Like if I were saying it like that, it would be Thanksgiving. It's the fact that you're emphasizing thanks. That's the problem. Like if I'm saying it like you, it'd be Thanksgiving. That's not how you say that word. It's Thanksgiving. The emphasis is on the second syllable, Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving. Like you can say Thanksgiving, or you can say Thanksgiving with no G at the end like hillbillies do, and that's okay. As long as you emphasize the second vowel. But if you emphasize the first vowel, you sound like a fucking moron. Thanksgiving. No. It's Thanksgiving. Okay? So no to Thanksgiving, yes to Thanksgiving. But say it correctly. Add the G. Thanksgiving. That's what it's called. That's what you should do. Aram wrote that on Reddit, someone advised turning away for 15 minutes during the Gobble a Song Out segment. And he says that's what you look for in a morning show. Let me just tell you that when it comes to Aram is X's and O's. Aram is about give me something worthwhile to listen to. There are no allegiances. He doesn't kiss anybody's ass because he likes them or doesn't like them. He is solely about, are you talking about anything that makes me want to keep listening for any amount of time? And if you are, great. I'll keep listening. That's the trade-off. He's giving me his time for what I'm putting out there. All right? If it sucks, he's not going to pay attention, and he's probably going to let you know that it's boring. It stinks. So if I get nothing from him, that's the biggest compliment there is, because he's got that brand of autism where it's like, you know, he's straight as an arrow. Like, dislike. Now he writes, nope, Chris Hansen is at the top of my podcast list. I don't know who you're answering. Maybe it was me. I don't remember what I say, but anyway. Jeremy says if you emphasize thanks in Thanksgiving, You will sound like Kelly. Just a warning. I have heard that. Maybe that's a Southern thing. Thanksgiving. Drives me up a wall. Supposedly, and actually I have heard this too, she also pronounces 2 G's in singer. She'll say singer. Yeah, I wanna lash out when I hear that. Singer. It makes the person sound less intelligent in my mind. If someone says singer, it's unacceptable. Jeremy says it's not a Southern thing. It's a speech retardation thing. Entirely possible. That's like with fucking free beer. By saying usable, I don't know what's worse. Kelly saying singer or Greg saying usable. I think usable is worse. And if someone looks you in the face, if they say something retarded like usable or singer, it's okay to say, well, right, but you need to fucking say it correctly. You're a broadcaster. You need to say the word right. It's not acceptable. You can't just throw your hands in the air and say, that's just the way I say it. Kenny says, I would like to hear Diana say Thanksgiving since she's from Kentucky. Well, she's not. She was born in Michigan, but there's a strong influence on with the Hill Jack vibe. Kenny says that is just the way I say it. Okay, just so you know, you're saying it wrong. Okay? If you're now you're not a broadcaster, so whatever. Let me see if I can get Pooh Bear in here. Hello, I'm podcasting.
Hello.
I didn't want to lose Pooh Bear points and not tell you again.
Okay.
That was a dark day for us.
Yes.
You know, that was 1 week ago.
It was today?
It was 1 week ago today.
You were you know what?
You can say it.
You're a pack.
Oh, you're in public.
Yeah.
What's the name of the store you're at?
I'm at Hobby Lobby right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just telling the story about how your brother got on your shit list.
Yeah.
I set it up by saying, guess who got in trouble in the house? And they all thought it was me.
No. It was not you this time. It was the other male in the house.
Are you over it?
I was so annoyed with him. He did apologize, though, so I'm a little bit better now.
Yeah.
I'm not as annoyed with him.
Apologies are important. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, exactly.
We were discussing the appropriate way to pronounce the holiday tomorrow. And I purposely didn't say it because I want to hear how you say it, because one member in the audience, Kenny, says it like a moron.
Thanksgiving?
Okay, good. You said it correctly.
Does he say Thanksgiving?
Well, it isn't so much that he drops the G at the end, but he emphasizes thanks.
Oh.
So can you do it?
Thanksgiving.
Right.
Thanksgiving.
He'll say Thanksgiving. I mean, it'd be okay if he said Thanksgiving, but he says Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It all sounds like he's saying something else. Like, thanks, Kevin, or thanks.
Well, yeah, generally the way he speaks is it's horrible.
Oh, boy.
All right.
All righty.
Okay, don't forget the sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. I got it.
8 of them.
8.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All righty.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Queen of the Forest. So, yeah, my recipe for the sweet potatoes is unheard of. I will post it to the links of this podcast. I need to remember to write that down. Hold on, because I will forget otherwise. You know me. Got my handy-dandy Blues Clues notebook. I want to update the Great Food Giveaway. My God. Yesterday was kind of weird. I didn't hit it as much as I would have liked to. But I do want to update. Thank you to Nate B. Thank you to Megan, Gianfranco, and Linda for their donations. We are now up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 people have thrown a little bit of change, some cash, some more than others, some less than others. Doesn't matter. It's all about the numbers, not so much the actual amount. 5s and 10s is what I'm shooting for. We have a grand total right now of $1,573.46. We will need more than that. I just spoke with Nate over at Meijer, and he said, I have one more thing to price. And I said, what is that, Nate? He said, the hams. I'm getting the cost that you will pay the week of. Okay, great. That's something that they can predict or have that in advance. He says, as soon as I get that, you'll have your number. He did tell me that the person who had to do it took the week off. So he said there is a chance he can get that information for me later today. If not, I'll have it the next time we talk. But we are now 23, that's right, 23 days out from the Great Food Giveaway. I assume that we are about halfway to the goal. I think I don't remember particularly what exactly the cost was. I think Aram might have known that. He kept track of that for me, or he at least compared dollar amounts one year to the next at some point. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, feel like it's about $3,000, maybe a little less. And as of right now, as I indicated to you, I think I mentioned that, we have $1,573.46 in our coffers, sent my way by 19 of you. Thank you. So the amount of people that are listening to the show, if you could, while I'm talking to you, either on the pre-recorded audio podcast, you're getting the show live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whatnot, please just think about dropping $5 or $10 into our bucket. I'm collecting it via my personal Venmo and PayPal, which I hate doing, but that is the way we are doing it. I'm trying to share the link here. Back to Twitch. Where the fuck am I? I don't know. I can't even get to my own chat. If you are following me, you can go to... Sorry, that's a wormhole. We don't want that. I'm putting in the chat right now my spot on Venmo at Eric-Zaitunian. It's all there. PayPal at Eric Zane Show. And if you're watching this right now, if you could just drop $5 or $10 in there, that would be so sweet. And we can get this done sooner rather than later. Thank you to Sweet Kenny for that donation. You're very, very kind. I don't know what's going on with Venmo. Occasionally I'll get like an odd dollar amount. Like Kenny shows up as $26.54. And I don't think that's the first person that's had that happen. Like Stevie had $24.26. Oh, he says he did that on purpose. Oh, so that I could say $1,600. I gotcha. I see what you did there. Maybe she did the same thing back then. I was very confused by that. Well, thank you. You did it. Now we are at $1,600. How sweet of you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Feels so fine. Aram writes, the bracketology talk reminded me of the PA pranks brackets back in the day. I just remembered a question emailed that you never replied to. In August 2007, wow, you have some memory. A listener asked what happened to PA pranks, and you guys said that there was an incident that resulted in attorneys telling you that you can't do any names besides stupid ones like pepperoni. It was bad enough that the incident could not be discussed on air. Can you recall the incident that killed PA pranks? It apparently didn't. And then it cuts off. I don't know. What I remember is just giving up. I remember specifically going into stores a lot. Hey, it's Eric Zane for one of my favorite sponsors, UncommonGoods.com. Now, when you shop at UncommonGoods.com, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. UncommonGoods.com have searched all around the globe to get some of the most amazing makers of handcrafted products that are made in small amounts. Shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Seriously, just go check out the selection from all the different types of amazing products and gifts that you can get at uncommongoods.com. From holiday host and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from book lovers to diehard sports fans. Just shop around. I'm telling you, the folks who get the gifts purchased through uncommongoods.com are always going away satisfied and happy and giving you a look like, how did you think of this amazing, awesome gift? Basically, all you need to do is go to uncommongoods.com, and I'm going to give you 15% off your next gift. All you have to do is go to uncommongoods.com/Zane. uncommongoods.com/Zane for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. And then people would say, get out of the store. We know it's you. Or it was just becoming increasingly difficult and there was a huge burden on time. That is true. And part of me says that's why we quit. Aram says it didn't die because you kept getting recognized. That's all I remember. I remember, you know what we may have done, and I can't say for sure because it was so long ago, that we quit doing it because it was difficult, but then made up a story that I was getting, that we got busted or something like that, or somebody got pissed off to make it seem like we weren't lazy, I guess. Because I do not recall any one thing that made them say, hey, all right, that's enough. Aram says it was a fake story then. That's probably what it was. I'm guessing we did that to save face rather than say we just don't want to do it anymore. But I remember doing it and it being a huge burden on my time. Like Saturday, Sunday, 2-3 hours during those days I would have to spend. And I think I got less hungry so that I just didn't want to do it anymore. And then we said, fuck it, which happened a lot. That happened the same scenario for the bit we would do called Sounds of the Game. we found it was just becoming a burden on our time. So we kind of just quit. So we quit that. We quit PA pranks, losing sight of the fact that those were the things that got us to the dance in the first place, which is kind of sad if you think about it. I don't want to work anymore, so we're just not going to do it. He says it doesn't take any free time to make fun of hot wings. That's true. But then, what we're doing there is becoming less diversified. So if we, over time, stop doing PA pranks, stop doing Sounds of the Game, two major things that we did, stop doing What Hot Wings Thinks, which I thought sucked, but a lot of people still liked it. So now those are three big things. Change the tone of the show because Kosan got his claws into it. Fuck that guy. Take out Joe stunts because of whatever reason, either just running out of creative things to do. Stop sending Joe on adventures like Lindsay Lohan Freedom thing. That Lindsay Lohan thing, that happened organically on the air that we came up with the idea. And then it happened organically that the viral video of Double Rainbow guy happened, and we actually located where he was, made a contact, made a friend. Joe picked him up on the way to take him to fucking L.A. Fucking incredible. Running with the Bulls, big deal. Those are those long arc adventures, long arc adventure stories like Running with the Bulls, Royal Wedding, Double Rainbow. Those were huge elements of programming that everybody remembered and talked about. So now you start to eliminate those gigantic moments like that that have this level of hijinks and danger to them and awkwardness. And what are you left with? You're left with what's in the room. We then eventually stopped doing interviews, which is another huge mistake. Not only the interviews with famous people, more so the interviews with like oddballs, lady who fucking got her eye poked out or whatever the fuck. He died. Shit like that. Aram says, so you must have stopped doing the most important interview ever because you got lazy. You guys said because it wasn't funny anymore, which wasn't true. Yeah, I would say so. I remember leading up to the demise, we started leaving work earlier and earlier. We used to stay till like 1, 2, 3 o'clock every day. And then we suddenly relied simply on our own wits, which I think can only get you so far. Jeremy says, Easy, do you think Ben Glaze has the band Joe stunt audio like the mattress store and the inmate escape? I don't know. It's possible. Aram says the psychic interview where Eric played a guy named Joe Carney was the most brilliant thing they ever did. Yeah, I remember you sent this to me, and I never really unpacked it. I think I might have listened to it, but if you could gloss over like the idea behind it. If I remember correctly, we had the psychic on, and I was another psychic, playing the part of another psychic, calling in. And I think I was like almost like a rebuttal, maybe, to everything that person was saying. I don't know. Like saying the opposite just to fuck with her or something like that. Jeremy says, I remember a roundtable style interview with a lady named Soprano Sue. Oh, yeah. Soprano Sue was an aficionado of The Sopranos. We had her on to interview her. I was another Sopranos aficionado, and I'm literally making shit up about the show, saying like Christopher had two dicks or something like that. And she ended up getting pissed off. I especially liked it when Mary Jo Buttafuoco told the dude to go fuck himself. Lou Ferrigno was in the Pine Barrens episode. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, those were fun days, to be sure. But in all honesty, we were getting very wealthy at the time, and we started to not give a fuck. And frankly, it's gotten so much worse now. If I could go back and do it again, like if I was say, all right, you got to build a morning show. I honestly don't know. I mean, I would know how to do it, obviously, because we had done it before. But that's what I think you would have to do to actually win. Is you'd have to spend a lot of time, a lot more time there, and conferring with whoever you'd be working with. I mean, I thought we were starting to do that on WBBL. We spent a lot of time trying to build that show, and it still didn't work. For whatever reason, I don't know. And now when it comes to radio, it's kind of like, who cares now? I prefer this medium right now. I mean, I'll still do radio. I still do radio, but come on now. This is so much more fun. I know for me, when I sit here and talk for 2 straight hours, it doesn't seem like 2 hours. Is Freeburn Hot Wings hoping that the radio parent company doesn't notice they are an expense on the P&L, which I think is profit and loss? Well, you got to understand. That's a $500,000 to $700,000 a year morning show right now. Like out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. If the company looks at, okay, yeah, but they're on 20 of our other stations. Let's just say $600,000 a year for that show. And when I say that, I mean like parking passes, insurance, all that shit. Divided by 20 radio stations. That means that if you break that down by station, each radio station would be spending $30,000 a year for their morning show. And as ridiculous as that sounds, that's a lot of money for radio these days because of how difficult it is to make money in that industry. What's especially different for Grand Rapids and unique is with the amount of money that show is earning, they have to charge a lot to try to justify that on a local level, which means they're selling a dwindling audience to people that don't want to spend that much money for less audience than what they had 10 years ago. So it's kind of very damning and difficult to do. I don't envy anybody that has to sell that archaic setup. And so then I guess the parent company would say, all right, we can either keep doing this or we can put on a different show and do the same thing, syndicate it for a lot less, or don't do anything and just run music. Aram says, so the advertisements during those 3 hours is greater than $30,000 on average? Like for those particular radio stations? I don't know. I mean, I guess That's just how well the local market would do. If you're Joe Blow in some small town, you know, you'd have to generate a lot of money. In these teeny tiny towns, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure that they can do if it's $30,000 on average. But you know, if they're making $30,001 on morning drive, that's not good. You gotta have a lot more than that. I would say 10 times that amount you want to generate for your morning show in order to justify it. But if they're making $600,000, if that show costs $600,000 a year, that would mean that the morning show on GRD would have to generate $6 million. And they're not. They're generating maybe $700,000 or $800,000. Maybe. And these are all numbers that the other radio stations in the market can verify, can determine how much that each radio station makes. For some reason, they share that information. I don't understand why. I think ultimately there's no hope for shows like this. I think that show is going to have to make it happen through online sources. And that's scary. Being that I had to do that myself, it's a little different with them because there's so many moving parts. With me, it's just me. All I got to worry about is myself. So I don't know. I think that the people that should worry the most are the Steves and the chicks on the show. I think they should worry. There's the old saying, dig your well before you're thirsty. Figure that shit out and prepare yourself. Aram says, I don't know who would go out of their way to subscribe online to that garbage. Well, you'd be surprised. You got to remember, there are hundreds of thousands of people that still love them. Love them. And if that's the only way they can get the content, of course they're going to do great. I mean, not everybody is a cynical prick like me. And I mean, even if what I say makes perfect sense about how fucked up that show is, they're brainwashed. They love them. That's like you or I going into a church and telling people that Jesus is a dickhead. They'd beat your ass. Easy. How much would you how much would you be willing to sell the show? You're gonna have to retype that. I'm missing some parts of that maize and blue. 27. Pete Rose. I don't know what you're saying. All right. A lot of shop talk. We love shop talk. That's pulling back the curtain inside radio. By the way, I did sign a new contract with Q100. I may have mentioned this. It's in the books. It is now in the books. And they were very, very happy together. Nobody's getting rich. It's a fair deal for both. I will say this. The negotiation went like this. I said, all right, yes, I would love to re-sign with you. How does this figure sound? And they took that figure of a raise. You know, I wanted a raise. I want more money. And I said, is this okay? And I'm expecting them to counter lower. You know what they did? This is so rare. They said, how about we double that? Double what you want in addition. And I go, what? Of course. Yes. So they're very, very sweet. I don't want to say what it is. It's not a lot. I'm not making a lot of money there. There's no way. I'm not going to try to say something that's just not true. But for what I do there, just sitting here, shooting the shit, playing the music, talking to the audience, playing their suggestions, it's fine. Chris says, so $12 an hour and some free sunglasses. You're goddamn right. You know what they did do, though? They said, Easy, you've managed to sell your podcast quite well. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. They said, why don't you sell for us? And I go, I would, but I struggle not being there. They said, well, we'll tell you what. We'll give you this much percentage to do it. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's a lot of fucking money. So you telling me if I sell all this, I get that much percentage? And they said, yes. I go, all right, fuck yes, I'll do that. That just means I have to do the work. This is the one thing you were talking about being lazy. If I ever decide to become lazy doing this, this is gone in a heartbeat. If I ever decide, I only want to podcast 3 days a week, or I only want to podcast for 1 hour a day, you can't. You can only increase. You cannot decrease. So I have to keep doing this. The second I let off the gas, it's over. Done. Just like that. Going back to Maize and Blue. He says, I was driving. I'm trying to figure out what you said. How much would you be willing to sell the show for once it's massive? Sell this show? Well, if I just by some snowball's chance in hell, somebody who makes decisions at like a major company like Spotify, who fucking gave the Kelseys $100 million, said, oh my God, you're fucking, or if my phone rings, it's Howard Stern saying, hey, I want you to take my place. Not much. I would sell it, but for a lot less than you think. Okay? As long as I can have a wad of cash and the ability to keep earning, I'm in. I'm your guy. Yeah, guys, it's on the way. It is on the way up. That's what I keep telling myself, and it never seems to come true. But that's okay, because if my podcast stays just the way it is right now, I'm happy as shit. I am so happy that you are here. You will never hear me complain, even if it was shitty, that things are a pile of shit. Never, ever, ever. You might hear O'Neill. He's starting to have a dream. Hang on. Okay, I'm turning it up. But I don't know if he's going to say anything. Shh. What do they call this? ASMR. I think if I'm whispering, it's supposed to give you a boner. Okay. Nothing. Tyler says, makes me happy to hear things are going great, EZ. Let me know you'll keep doing this for a long time. Tyler says, the show is worth at least 5 hot tubs. Thank you, buddy. Chris says, breaking. Local celebrity EZ sells podcast for $27 and rides off into the sunset. Wouldn't surprise me if I made such a dumb decision. All right. Chris in Buffalo says, oh my God, EZ whispering right now reminds me of a Frank Zappa recording. Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I forget the song, but I can hear it in my brain. It was somebody's garage. They were in someone's garage. Frank Zappa. Paulie's garage. He was in somebody's garage playing songs, and he got some fucking Beatle boots. Right?
So, what are you going to ask the wizard for, Pixel?
Well,
all right, I
I'm
gotta
not
get
sure
past
he's
the
such
stupid
a...
commercial.
Oh, I want him.
Oh, yeah. Joe. It says Joe's garage.
It wasn't very large. There was just enough room to cook.
Frank Zappa.
That was Joe's first confrontation.
I'm a fucking weirdo. Thank you.
Naturally,
Yeah.
we were easy on him.
Why?
One of our friendly counselors
Yeah.
gave him a donut
Okay.
and told him to stick closer
Stick.
to church-oriented
Stick.
social.
Oops, I just turned my mic off. Frank Zappa was brilliant. I will post the video to Joe's Garage, or the lyric video. We play Frank Zappa on Q100, by the way. All right. I also want to update the feminine hygiene products that we are giving away for those in need for Great Food Giveaway number 5 with tampons. I feel like we've stalled on this, but maybe it's because there's an extra step. I don't know. But I'm going to post it in the chat, and you can see for yourself. But if you look at it, okay, I remember the first day we talked about it, but I don't know if it's gone up at all. This is set up so simply. You go to the link that I just posted in the chat, and if you're listening to the audio podcast, you can click on the link in the show notes. A lot of the local ladies around here that will be coming to the Great Food Giveaway cannot afford these products. So if you could go to the Amazon wish list link, click on it, you just buy them, and then they will be shipped to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Now, if you buy all of these products, like one of each, it's just a little bit north of $42. Or just buy one. Like if you bought one package of the Amazon Basics Ultra Thin Pads with flexible wings, that's $4.96. Now, you do get free shipping on orders over $35. So that's what I suggest you do. Make your money go a little further and just spend that and send them off. But if you can't, I get it. But we need like 550 boxes. We don't have anywhere near that. We don't even have 100 boxes. So we need all of this stuff. Just add it to the cart. This is how you do it. No, I don't want to do it. Fuck. I want to sign in. Anyway, just add it all to your account, into your cart, and then off you go. And then just when you buy it, it'll get shipped to Irvine's. Megan is starting to see that there was a lull in Team Pink deliveries. There's none. There have been no Team Pink deliveries in recent days at Irvine's. Chris says you didn't get anything Monday, Megan. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she did Monday and then that's it. But if you could, you'll be helping out for a Great Food Giveaway, number 5, 23 days away. I did run into a little bit of a slowdown in how to get on TV on our friends on Fox 17. I do still have contacts there, so I reached out. In fact, I got to follow up on that. But my guy who had worked there and was in charge, this was awkward as shit because I reached out to him and said, hey, it's Great Food Giveaway number 5 is coming up. Can we do our thing? I'll show up on and chat about it on the TV for a few days beforehand. And he says, no, I quit. I don't work there anymore. I'm like, oh. My God, I'm sorry. Because after 28 years, I'm out. I've had enough. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he goes, yeah, I'm driving truck now. Like he's over the road across the U.S., like B.J. McKay driving truck. And it's just so strange to me because I think he's like got like a massive family. I'm like, ugh. That sounds horrible. Nick in the arena says he hears the feminine hygiene products referred to as beaver whistles. I had not heard that one. All right. I'm so far behind already. This is so embarrassing. Thank you to King's Room Barbershop. Online at kingsroom.net. Go visit Andy and Colleen. 3 locations for King's Room Barbershop. Caledonia, Northland Drive, and at 821 36th Street. If you have a favorite stylist, you can find out where they are by checking out the schedules at kingsroom.net. Haircuts are $19, more than 50 years of haircuts for a king and chicks who like short hair. Kingsroom.net for more information. You know, it took me 3 years to get them on the podcast. I had been trying that long to get them on the podcast. Now I think they're here to stay. God bless them. As always, please support my sponsors and say hello to them and thank them. And please mention my name when you call or see them in person. Like the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Anywhere in the U.S., you can get a mortgage. Buy now, refinance later. Mario, one of the OGs, along with Irvine's A&E, TC Paintball. I use that as a selling point of the podcast. Like when I'm courting a potential new advertiser, I'm like, these guys have been here for this long. Here's their number. Call them and ask them if the show is effective. And that has worked for me. Mario was awesome. 231-332-6505. Please mention my name when you reach out about a mortgage for you. 231-332-6505. The aforementioned champion of the people, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They just passed their 30-year anniversary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They are in the middle of Grand Rapids, just a few blocks east of 131, a street called Stafford. You can get to their website at ervines.com. That's ervines.com. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's. That is the site of Great Food Giveaway number 5 with tampons and dog food. Last for this batch of sponsors is A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. 616-516-8579. You have a couple of days to get on the schedule for the free furnace tune-up. You don't want to let this opportunity slip by. This is a value of $145 because not only is it a tune-up, but it's a diagnostic test. That would cost you $145. Otherwise, you get it for free because of a partnership with DTE, the local gas company. Thank you to Joe Martinez. You can also reach out about a brand new furnace. We put our brand new furnace in last year, thanks to Joe. Yeah, this house is 27 years old, so shit's falling apart. Needed the new furnace, done. Irvine's, I'm sorry, A&E. Need work done on the truck, Irvine's. Need a new roof, call my sponsor, Werner. That's how we roll here. 616-516-8579. All right. I'm going to take a short break and go tinkle. You can stay here and look at the dogs. They love you very much. They thank you for your support. I will be right back. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out.